What's going on, Show Nation? It's Movie with Movie Gaming TV, and in today's video, I'm going to go over some of my favorite cards that have been released so far in MLB The Show 22. Now, a couple of news items before we get started. If you've not seen, O'Neal Cruz got supercharged for hitting a ball over 122 miles per hour. He is 125 everything on his hitting right now. He's got good enough fielding, good enough speed. This card is ridiculous. I really hope they extend this card through the weekend for the first weekend of Extreme Moments. That would be amazing just to have this nice shortstop to use. He's incredible right now. If you do not have this card, make sure you pick him up for the next couple days because I don't know what else could be better. I mean, 99 speed with 125 everything for the hitting. What a ridiculous supercharge. This is awesome. And also, Carrie Wood is coming to the game. That got released yesterday. That's going to be one of the Extreme Moments rewards. Now, personally, I really do not like pitching with him, but I hate facing him. If he gets a cutter, I'm probably going to use him because I have a feeling he's going to have really good per-nines, outlier, cutter, and he can be really difficult to face. He might be in my rotation again this year. And also at 3 o'clock Central, they just released Robinson Cano is going to be a part of Extreme Moments also, and this card looks like it's going to be ridiculous. Now, Jackie Robinson, nice second baseman, really solid, but the one thing that he is lacking is he does not have the power, and I think Robinson Cano, he's not going to have as much speed, but he should have excellent defense and excellent power as well. Hopefully, he gets enough contact as well, you know, maybe in that 105 to 110 range with a crazy pop. I think he will become the best second baseman. He's a really fun card to use as well. So there are still a couple cards that I really haven't used. I have not used the new Willie Mays. I have not used the new Cole Hamels. They're very expensive, and I really don't want to spend the stubs. I'd rather kind of grind and see if I can get one of them and just kind of wait on some of the other ones. Because I got this Cal Ripken Junior for like $230,000. He's already down to $150,000, so I kind of need to wait to get Willie Mays and Cole Hamels. You know what I mean? That's really going to be my plan there. They're just going to get cheaper and cheaper. I do have a million stubs from my no money spent grind. Still like just waiting to get those cards, but let's see where they are currently. I mean, they were like 600, 700K last night. They're still like 600, 500. So I think I'm going to wait a little while to pick those up. If you could grind out the innings, I mean, you probably can make a lot of stubs if you want to sell these. They're still going for quite a bit right now. But anyways, I want to just kind of reflect and talk about some of my favorite cards that I've used this year. This isn't really like a top 10 or top 20 ranking. These are just cards that I really like. And if you are thinking about ever getting them, if they're worth it, this will be the video for you. So first and foremost, my favorite card in the game is this George Brett card. I'm a Royals fan, but even if I wasn't, this card is just ridiculous. I feel like he is the best hitter in the game. 125 both sides, 115, 101. Excellent defense, excellent speed. A lot of people like sneak him over to second base and just kind of take the defensive hit over there, but he's just incredible. I used his swing a little bit last year when I was grinding out my Road to the Show players, so I got really used to his swing, and it's just phenomenal. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the 125 vision that opens up the timing window, but this card is absolutely ridiculous. I just hit parallel 5 on him very recently, and I really hope that we get this card every single year because he is a lot of fun to use. Now, Trevor Jones is traditionally who I start in game at third base because I love his swing. I love his switch hitting ability, and he usually gets like a lot of power also. But this might be like one of the first years that like George Brett is really not going anywhere. I think at some point if we get Trevor Jones, I'm probably going to transition George Brett over to first base. Maybe if we get some Show's Finest cards that have like 125 almost everything on their power and their contact, he might not be in my lineup, but he is just absolutely ridiculous. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards of all time. Like, I've been playing this game for a long time. I've been playing Diamond Dynasty since MLB The Show 15, and this probably is my favorite card of all time. Like, I really just want to enjoy this card for this season, this version of the game, and hopefully we'll get him back in the future, but man, it's been a blast using this Retro Finest 1980 George Brett card. Now, another card that I find myself liking more and more, like every single day, like I was just going through Conquest, a new like Tasty Waves map yesterday, and I was just like, man, I really like this card. card, and that is the Andrew McCutchen Retro Finest from 2012 collection reward. 119, 125, 109, 118. Now, there's kind of a thing with this Andrew McCutchen card. I remember when I was kind of like spending money back in the day, and I was just thinking, like, I remember going for a drive, and there was a couple cards I really wanted, like old school MLB The Show 15, 16 cards. And one was Giancarlo Stanton when he was on the Marlins, and then the other was this Andrew McCutchen. I just thought they were like the coolest looking card arts that I had ever seen, like, in the past. So to have this card supercharged up, and it's not necessarily supercharged, but just like his Retro Finest being as good as it is as the collection reward, kind of getting that collection reward boost. This card is so much fun to use. I'm really, really glad that we got it. As disappointing as Griffey was and Mantle has been, I think Griffey is actually very bad. Mantle is okay. It's just like he's very, very slow. The 77 contact, it's like, yeah, it's usable on All-Star, but at least he has 125 power. But yeah, at least we got this Andrew McCutchen. So it is a little bit different not having Griffey or Mantle, you know, possibly for a while till they get to the 99. But in the meantime, having this Andrew McCutchen is amazing. If you're thinking about doing this collection, do this collection. This is a really fun card to have. He's really fun to use. And you can see on my lineup, I have O'Neal Cruz at the top. Normally I have George Brett and McCutchen hitting right next to each other, a lefty and a righty. It's just a great, great card. I love this card. Now, one of my other favorite cards is this Juan Soto card. Absolutely love this Juan Soto card. I always liked hitting with his swing. It's a really good swing that you could use on your cap. Plus, you get that cool animation when he takes pitches. His fielding is not that great. I only have him at parallel 2 right now, but I really don't care. I really don't care. He has 52 speed and 74 fielding. We're going to put him in his primary at right field, so he has the silver fielding, but the 117, 107 with 125 both sides, his swing, and then he has like Road Warrior, Night Player, First Pitch Hitter, Unfazed, Dead Red, Rally Monkey, Fighter, and Situational Hitter. I just really, really, really like this card. This is one of my favorite cards they've ever released in the Home Run Derby version of a card, so I like him a lot. I'm very happy that he won the Home Run Derby. Now, this card kind of surprised me. Usually Babe Ruth, if you look at one of our videos that I posted the other day when I went back and revisited my old Diamond Dynasty teams, usually Babe Ruth gets 125 everything. So this is the 97 version of Babe Ruth. I imagine at some point we're going to get a 99 version that will most likely be close to 125 everything on the hitting. But this one surprised me. I did not think he was going to be as good of a hitter as he is, but it just shows you how important the 100 power threshold really is. Like, once a card gets like 100 power, I feel like every single time they're at bat, they can like really go yard. That feels different than a card like this Cal Ripken Jr. that we just got, or even Jackie Robinson with kind of that 80-90 power where it's like, yeah, they can hit a home run, but it's just not as often as somebody that has that 100 lights, you know, whatever that animation is that you can see on the lights right now. When it gets over 100, it's just so much better. And 116, 113, 110, 105, he's got that old-timey swing where it's just really easy to time. He's got a lot of position versatility. You can stick him in either corner outfield spot. He has 61 speed. He's not like the greatest fielder, but he's not the worst. He's kind of average, and you can also put him at first base. So this is another collection reward that I feel like was worth it to do. So if you're thinking about getting this card, I would recommend him a lot. He's great. All right, so Jackie Robinson, this collection, I think this card has been okay. You know, it's a good legend card with 125 on both sides, almost 99 speed. Once I get him up to parallel 3 here, he's going to have the diamond fielding and the 99 speed. He's got a pretty good swing. It's really just kind of the lack of power that I don't like. He's going to have that occasional pop, but he's kind of a perfect 8th hitter that can just kind of put the ball in play. If they want to pitch around the pitcher or they want to like walk him intentionally, he's going to be a threat on the base pass to steal, or at least if we lay down that bunt, he can kind of get to second base without having to steal him. So I do like this card. It just leaves a little bit to be desired in the power, but that's just kind of like how Jackie Robinson's game was. He wasn't like an amazing power hitter, and he has a lot of position versatility. I'm not really putting him on the level of some of the other cards that we've previously talked about because of that lack of power, but he's okay. This is one that if you want to do the collection, go for it, but I wouldn't necessarily say like you have to get this one, especially with Robinson Cano and Extreme Moments about to drop. So I really like Frank Thomas, but I've been playing this Austin Reilly at first base, 115, 122, 104, 111. I feel like that 104, he plays pretty well with the power. The 111, 122 obviously is really nice. He's got good fielding and good speed. So he's got 86 fielding and 71 speed. I only have him at parallel 2 right now. He also has the ability to play in left field. But what I like is he has Road Warrior, Day Player, First Pitch Hitter, Unfazed, Breaking Ball Hitter, Rally Monkey, and Fighter. So he's got a bunch of the quirks as well. I love using Frank Thomas. It was very difficult for me to take this card out because I hit so well with him and I can field just fine with him. But so far, I have been using this Austin Reilly. I may use this one until I could finish his program, like and get it completely checked off and get that last pack and that last ball-in pack. And then I might move him out because there's another card that I'd like to get back into my lineup. And I think I could possibly move Babe Ruth over to first base. And the card that I'd like to move back into my lineup is this Julio Rodriguez, 104, 105, 125, 125 with a 99 speed, and he will have bronze fielding if I move him into left field. And the reason I want to put him in left field is just so Juan Soto could keep his silver fielding in right field. But the more that you parallel this card up, the more you just get rewarded because you just get more and more contact if you get him up to parallel 5. And then he has 125 from both sides of the plate. I do like his swing a lot, and I really like right-handed hitters a lot more than left-handed hitters. So I'm thinking about maybe taking Austin Reilly out, moving Babe to first, and then putting Julio Rodriguez back into left field. But I like this card a lot. This has been another really cool card for me. Just a perfect pinch hitter versus right-handed pitching. He's got a great swing in Yordan Alvarez, 117, 125. Really a threat to hit a home run at any time that he gets up to the dish. Plus, again, Road Warrior, Night Player, First Pitch Hitter, Breaking Ball Hitter. He's got some extra quirks. If you don't have that PCI on it perfectly, he can still drive the ball. A beautiful swing. Another great Player of the Month card. I love having him on my bench. I love having this Nick Castellanos card too with a 125, 125. I think he's got a better swing than Al Kaline, and you still get that 125, 125. Just a perfect card to have in your bench. Still has like 66 speed as well. I think his fielding's good enough. You can kind of put him in right field. I know it's not great, but it's also like with the 66 speed, the 68 fielding, I think he'll make about 80% of the plays out there. 97, 103, you might be surprised he can actually hit some home runs versus right-handed pitching, but that 125, 125 and just matching him up with a left-handed reliever or a left-handed starter when you bring him off the bench is just fantastic. Now, his David Ortiz card is pretty cool as well. 110, 125, a phenomenal swing. He's kind of slow, doesn't have the fielding, but to pinch hit in the second spot behind Yordan against right-handed pitching, I think is real nice. And I do have this Al Kaline on my bench with 125, 125. This card kind of reminds me a little bit of like me using Nolan Arenado. And the reason I say that is I usually have better stats with Nolan Arenado, but for whatever reason, I just don't like using his swing. And that's kind of how I feel about this Al Kaline. It's like I really don't like using his swing, but I do pretty well with him. I've even hit like a walk-off home run in events, like a perfect, I want to say, where he really bailed us out and had multiple hits. So I do like using the card in that respect. He's got really good defense, but I think this is a great card to have on your bench with a 125, 125 regardless. I might replace him at some point when we get a better swing for somebody that has 125, 125, but until then, I'm going to keep him on my bench. Next card I'm going to talk about is the Brian Roberts card. This card's actually pretty fun to use. I don't really think that I would put him on my ranked team, but in events, he's just kind of nice to have because he has that switching ability, and he plays pretty good defense at second base also. If you ever need to move him to like shortstop or something, you could as well. A lot of the second basemen can play shortstop, and shortstops can play second base. Even if they don't have that position in their secondary position, they'll take a little bit of a defensive hit, but not that much. There's a couple of like quote-unquote secret positions, like a lot of third basemen can play first base pretty well. And also, like I said, like shortstops, they can play second base pretty well and stuff like that. Like Jackie Robinson, for instance, becomes like a silver shortstop. That's pretty fun to use when he only has like the gold fielding, but he'll still have silver if you move him to shortstop, even though it's not a secondary position. I like kind of shorter players, and he's got a very good good swing. He has that 125 that you can use. So I actually like this card quite a bit. If he had like some more contact versus left, he'd be really, really good. Obviously, I don't have him paralleled up that much yet, but I do like this card quite a bit. I haven't had the chance to use this card yet, this Velope card, in an actual game, but when I did his moments, I took 2 swings. I think the mission was like get 2 hits, and I hit 2 home runs with him. So I'm kind of curious in the comment section if you like this Anthony Velope card. He seems pretty good. I've never really used him before in an actual game. This Cal Ripken Jr. card has been okay. He's got an amazing defense, but some of them I have actually missed trying to go side to side. I don't know what it is with his like speed and reaction. You think I would get to pretty much everything, but it is a very comforting feeling having like George Brett and Cal Ripken Jr. on the left side of the infield with all of their defense. I don't particularly like his swing. I've got him up to parallel 1 at this point in time. It's just a funky swing that I'm going to have to get used to over time. He does have really good contact and he's got pretty good power, but not great power. So eventually he's going to be somebody that we're going to want an upgrade on. I'm really hoping more than anything that Future Stars Bobby Wood Jr. is just like 110, 110, 110, 110. That would be like just an absolute dream card for me. That would be my dream shortstop, because I even like playing a Bobby Wood Jr. card that's like the prospect card. Sometimes randomly in events just because I'm a huge Royals fan. I like his swing a lot. He's just really fun to use in the game. Cal just like, he's got all the numbers, but he just doesn't have the swing that I really like. But at the same time, I still kind of like using him right now. I think shortstop's just kind of like the weakest position in the game. This Jordan Walker was interesting to use in events. I actually had a couple of home runs with him, like one game in the Field of Dreams event. I remember hitting a home run with him to win the game. He's got kind of a funky swing that reminds me a little bit of like Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s swing, where he kind of has that like timing stutter step type of thing. He's pretty good. He's not too bad. You can play in left. You can play in first. You can play in right field. So you can kind of play like all over the place. If you like kind of that toe tap type of swing, maybe give him a shot. I like this Roberto Clemente card. I have not played this card in a while. 125, 125, 86, 90. Amazing fielding at parallel 5, 77 speed. So one of the best cards in the game. I just think it's like the lack of power. Like I feel like I can always get a base hit, but it's like the home runs, they're going to kind of be there sometimes and not be there other times. I haven't used him as much lately, but I think he's a really cool card if you were thinking about doing the NL collection. I think it was a good collection reward because this is like the perfect kind of card to have early on in the game. I use this Grady Sizemore a little bit in events, and for whatever reason, this Grady Sizemore was hitting a lot of home runs. He's kind of got like an open stance. Pretty fun card to use if you haven't tried him out already. I do like using this Craig Biggio card quite a bit too. I have Jackie there right now, but if Jackie wasn't there, and obviously if we didn't have the new Robinson Cano, I would really like to use this card as well. I just think he has one of the best stances in the game. You can always put him at catcher as well. You get him out of the Austin Riley Player of the Month program basically, and he's been pretty cool. Like, I always like using Craig the Egg. That was the nickname I used to have for him when he was the AL collection reward a couple years ago. Doesn't have a ton of power, but I just hit really, really well with him. Like a really, really high average. So he's an awesome card. And you know what's kind of funny is you would think this card is not very good, but I was hitting like a lot of home runs with this card in the event the other day. I think he's actually got like a really, really good swing. And you can obviously play him at like second base or something like that, Luis Aparicio. And I don't know, for some reason he plays above those power numbers. It's pretty funny. I really don't know why. I don't know. Give him a shot. Throw him in your events lineup. He's kind of fun to use. I'm not going to lie. All right, just Mickey Mantle. I mean, he can still rock the ball at 125 power. The 77 contact sucks, but I mean, if you're not playing a lot of legend, he's not that bad. You know what I mean? He's got such a good swing, and he's a switch hitter that it's like kind of got that Brian Roberts thing to him, where if you're like throwing him on your events team, he's really good. The only thing that's kind of tough and I'm not used to is him only having 78 speed. Like, I'm kind of used to him having like 90 speed. I did stick him in center field, so he had the gold fielding, but you might want to stick him in like one of the corner outfield spots. But yeah, I know this card got a lot of flack, but like when I was using it in an event, it was actually kind of fun to use it. So it's not exactly that expensive or anything. The only thing is if you step up and you're going to start playing Hall of Fame and you're going to start playing Legend, like this is just a no-go. But like just using them for fun, until we get the 99, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I really have not used this card at all, and I probably should at some point. This Cody Bellinger card, I always have loved his swing. Now, this is a really cool card as well, this Cedric Mullins. I like to use him off my bench as my pinch hitter in events a lot of the time. He's got a really good swing, and then I can just get him like matchups versus right-handed pitching with that 116, 106. This guy can definitely start in your outfield as well. It doesn't matter if you really put him in center, but I think he's probably better in like one of the corner spots like left field or something. If you're looking for like a cheaper shortstop option right now, this Danzi Swanson is like not too bad. He's got a decent swing. I know he's being used kind of like on the competitive scene. I think he's one of the better all-star cards. I didn't use him too much. And I really actually like to use his cards. I liked like one of his Tops Now cards that he had like a long time ago. But I didn't use him too much. There was just something about the lack of power. I don't know. His swing's going to like give him some more power. But for whatever reason, I didn't use this card a bunch. I only had him in there for like a little bit, and then I took him out. I was always kind of looking for someone to replace this card, but it's not a bad card by any stretch. So this Javier Buyer's card, for whatever reason, I just do not swing well with his swing. But it was kind of an interesting card to use. It's just I don't swing well with his swing. This Matt Carpenter I did not use very much, but he's got amazing hitting stats. If you want to put him, I think his best spot actually might even be like third base, to be honest with you, with that lack of speed. And like you're not going to worry about his fielding too much over there. And then you don't have to have him like up the middle trying to make plays at second base. Even really like first base wouldn't be too bad. Once you're starting to get in a 40 speed, I think that's a little bit too slow for the outfield. At least you want like 55, 60 speed. So maybe like if you're looking for a third baseman, I think he's got one of the best swings in the game too. He's got a great swing. So this is a really cool card. Now, if you're not going to play your creative player or catcher, I'm currently playing my creative player catcher because I get switch hitting ability with like 119, 125 power and like 70 some speed. So I'm going to play my cap at catcher maybe until we get Jimmy Fox. And even if we do, I don't know if I'm going to remove him. I've been using Eric Hosmer's swing on my cap as well. I think it's actually the best swing of the game. I really like Tommy Edmonds' swing. But what I found out when I was grinding one of those shows, I really like a big leg kick. And I like two-handed swings. And so I was trying to use like Carlos Santana's swing. And I would go and make it so it was a two-handed swing because Carlos Santana has like an excellent leg kick. But for some reason, the game would never save that I had like a two-handed swing. So I just kind of solved that problem by using Eric Hosmer's swing. So if you don't want to use your cap there, and maybe you want to use your cap at like shortstop, which would probably be like the smartest thing to do right now, make like an amazing hitting shortstop that has maybe like gold fielding. I think it's probably your best bet that has like high power, high contact and all that. This is the catcher that you want. You want Mike Napoli, Party and Naps. He's unbelievable. Like, he's got an amazing swing. He's got amazing contact. He's going to drive the ball. I feel like this card gets... Every time he hits the ball, it feels like it goes out for a home run in events. He does have a lack of speed. It's not complete in game. You'd want to get Jimmy Fox eventually, or one of the show's finest catchers or something, but probably more like a Jimmy Fox that has like insane hitting with the secondary of catcher. Not the Jimmy Fox we have now. I'm talking about a Jimmy Fox that's like gonna have like 125 everything type of thing. That's who you're gonna want a catcher because he'll have more speed. He'll still have about the same fielding as Napoli, and the catcher fielding just really doesn't matter that much. It's all about just getting a beast hitter. Trust me. This Chase Utley was pretty dang cool to use. I still think he's actually very usable. It's almost kind of like Roberto Clemente. Like after I use a card for like a really long time, especially from like the start of the year, unless they're like a relief pitcher, I really just like, I'm just kind of looking for other options. But this is a really fun card to use this year. I love his swing. I hope they bring him back like every single year. He's great. We haven't even seen like a 99 version of him. A 99 version of him at second base might be insane, to be honest with you. I just thought about that right now. I've not thought about this card in a while. Carlos Delgado. This card just mashed off the bench for me. Absolutely mashed. Like before I had Jordan and David Ortiz. Really good swing. I mean, the perfect card to use off your bench. And let's see how much he goes for now. So he's still like 81.68. So it's still kind of expensive. Probably a little bit too expensive to use as like a bench pinch hitter right now. But pretty cool card. I'm glad that he's in the game. I hope he stays in the game. I really have not used this Mike Piazza that much, if at all, this year, but he actually looks like he would be pretty dang good. I think this Soriano would be pretty good too because I used his swing a lot when he was the collection reward. Especially, but this is a card that I really would want to have like parallel 5 because then I would want that like really high contact versus left. Plus, you get a lot more contact versus right. This is a good card that I don't know. It's not that expensive. You can put him in a lot of different spots and be good. We still haven't seen like a 99 Joe Mauer at all either. This card was really fun to use. Another card that I'm really, really glad that he's back. I haven't even thought about him in a while, but he just always was like mashing doubles. Really, really fun card to use this year. I really like using this card in events. This card just absolutely crushes the ball. I think he's got a really good swing. His defense leaves a lot to be desired. For whatever reason, just with the 70 defense. Maybe it's because I've been playing him in left now that I think about that. And so he's got the bronze instead of playing him in right. So that's something I've got to think about for the future. I should have been playing him in right field. He would probably feel a little bit quicker to the ball, but this card could really, really mash. I wish we had a DH because this would be a really fun card to use at DH. If there's a card that I haven't talked about that I've kind of skipped over that you want my opinion on, just leave it down in the comment section below and I'll go through and I'll check the comment and respond to you. The thing about this damn mutual is like I haven't used them. I could talk about them, but I haven't used them this year, but I've used them in the past. So if I skip over them and you just kind of want my opinion on one of them, just, like maybe you want my opinion on Jason Dominguez, just leave me a comment down in the comment section, or you can always hit me up on Twitter or something like that, and I'll get back to you. This Larry Walker is another card that's a really good like off the bench pitch hitter because he has 125, 101 and an excellent swing. He's pretty cheap as well. You can play him in the outfield. It's just a 162. We're going to avoid that for an every down player or an every pitch player. I don't know. 125, 101 though is solid off the bench with his swing. It's going to be crazy. I hope he gets like a really stacked 99. So we were talking about Jimmy Fox. This is the one that's currently in the game, but just wait till he gets like 122, 125, like 120, 120. And then kind of has like the same speed and fielding. That's when he just gets ridiculous at catcher because his swing is amazing. Jimmy Fox, that card actually just made me think about this Juan Soto card. This card's actually really good. He's really good. He's a good defender. He's got the old-timey type of swing. It's a really good swing. Like if you want like a shortstop or second baseman or anything like that you don't have to worry about, this is like a really, really good card actually. I know it says 104, 100, 96, 95, but he's ridiculous. Like he's really good. I never ended up using this card very much just because there's so many cards in the game. But if you like really wanted a good switch hitting outfielder, I would recommend this Brian Reynolds because he's got a really good swing and he's gonna have a few quirks here and there. I know he's got like very low contact and power versus left, but he's a beast. Just trust me, this is a beast card on the low. This Albert Pujols card was pretty fun to use as well. He's still like kind of close to playable. It's just that contact versus left is so low. But otherwise, he would still be like pretty dang usable. Like I wouldn't be against someone using him right now, especially on something like All-Star. So he's been a really cool card. I'm really hoping that he at least gets like a kind of a shot at the World Series this year. Like I really hope he gets to 700 somehow. That would be freaking awesome. So cool card. It's going to be cool to see what kind of 99 he gets. When he gets his 99, it's going to be off the charts, trust me. This is fun looking back just because I love this card earlier this year. This Jim Edmonds, that 95, 125. He's got such a silky smooth swing. I can't wait till he gets his 99 too. This card's a lot of fun to use. 106, 78. If you're just kind of like playing events or going against a computer right now, you could use them in ranks still, but like, if you're going to play on Ledger, some of you want more contact, but he was a battle royale reward. Really fun card to use. This card just mashes right-handed pitching. Just absolutely mashes right-handed pitching. If this card gets a good 99, this Jim Rice, he's got like a really, really strange swing that is oddly not very fun to use, but at the same time, very fun to use. He's got one of the funkier swings. It's just like, it's a very like, it almost reminds me of like Moises Alou's swing or something like that. But yeah, who's not in the game, but just that's who his swing kind of reminds me of. And I don't know, man, he's got a lot of swag. Like I really would like a 99 version of this card if we get one. I can't hit very well with this card at all, and I don't want to talk about this specific Ryne Sandberg, but when I was looking at the Immortals, the Immortal Ryne Sandberg had like, I don't know, the most ridiculous stats versus left-handed pitching ever. I wonder if they're going to bring back like an insane power hitting Ryne Sandberg this year. I hope we get an awesome Gary Sheffield as well, like a 99. That's just insane too. That'd be really awesome. One of the best cards that got released this year was this Kettle Marte card. This card is absolutely incredible. I know it says 84 power on both sides, but it could be like 100. He's ridiculous. He's got a really, really good swing. You need to have this card in your binder. It's only 31,000 at 23. You need to pick it up. You can play shortstop. You can play second. You can play the corner outfield spots. I mean, I really wouldn't play him in center. It's his real value to me is like a shortstop. Like he's fantastic, or even something like left field. You just get that switch hitter with a ton of contact and a great, great swing. You play like a low elevation, or I should say a high elevation park, like some like Coors or like a creative park with higher elevation, and where it becomes a lot easier to hit home runs. Like he's phenomenal. This is a card you gotta have. If you watch this video and you gotten this far, and let me know in the comments if you have this card already, or if you don't, let me know if you pick this card up. I really loved using this card earlier in the year, this Prince Fielder in mini seasons. He was so much fun to use. This would be a really fun card to get like a 99 of as well. Also, what's been your favorite card that I have listed so far? Or did I list a card that like was your favorite card that I haven't listed? You know what I'm saying? So which is your favorite one that I have talked about so far, or which one is one that I missed that is your favorite card? Let me know down in the comment section. But this Jorge Polanco is awesome too. Awesome leg kick. This is a comp type of player that can really, you know, you're going to put him at second base, but he's got one of the best swings in the game. It's a really, really good card. I miss Michael Nelson Trout so much. I can't wait till we get a 99. It sucks what happened to his contact versus right. It just plummeted. But early in the year, I mean, this card was amazing. To me, it's like using the LeBron James of the game. It's just like this crazy, crazy card that we get to use every year. And I hope he gets right physically and just keeps like beasting for the rest of his career. I talked about Bobby Witt Jr. earlier, but if Adley Rutschman gets a future starts card, he is going to be insane. It's going to be flat out insane. Because, like, let's say we project these numbers up to, like, 120, and then, like, I don't know, 107 power and, like, 109 power with the switch hitting ability. He's got a great swing, diamond defense, a little bit more speed. Be, like, a ridiculous, ridiculous catcher. Like, I really can't wait for his future starts card as well as Bobby Witt Jr.'s. If you're looking for a good budget player, this Christian Yelich is really, really good at 91 too. He's got one of the best swings in the game, got immense power. He's going to play above those power numbers and gets like a lot of home runs to go out. Very cheap as well, only like 19 to 14K. Solid card. This Jorge Posada card was really fun to use. I hope he gets a 99 too. That's amazing. Sometimes his lower tier cards are like better than his 99 though. That's the thing. Like he'll like lose power or something. So he does have that 109. 11. This is another card that has an amazing swing. That's a switch hitter. I can't wait till we get the Beast Chipper as well. This might be my in-game shortstop. I was talking about it with my guy Mike Dunk from our Twitch chat. He might be my in-game shortstop. Without defense isn't as important this year, I think he might be my in-game shortstop. I could leave Brett over at third base and just have like his crazy ability hitting wise, and just hopefully he gets enough fielding where he could be viable like through a Retros Finest or something. But I can't wait for his card. What would be even crazier if he had like he has two variations of a swing. There's a couple players like Griffey and Tony Gwynn that have like different variations, just to use an example of their swing. But the Chipper Jones 2008 swing is like one of the best swings ever. He usually gets his regular swing, which is fine. Like it's a fine swing. I have no problem with using it. I've used it on my cat before. I have no issues with that swing. But we never seen like an amazing one with the 2008 swing, which would just be so much fun if we got it. This is another card like kind of Mike Trout's 99 that like I really look forward to every year, and it's like the Guardians version of Francisco Lindor where he's just beast. Maybe he'll get like a show's finest or something crazy. I don't know if he's going to do that for the Mets this year, but his cards are really fun to use. He's got one of the best swings in the game every single year, so I'd really like to see like a beast version of Francisco Lindor at some point. I just did the Pedro Martinez showdown yesterday, and I was using Live Series Corey Seager, and I had a couple of those perks or quirks or whatever those cards are called, and he hit like 2 home runs that were like over 450 feet, and that's just with his Live Series card. Usually, I mean, Texas is not going to make the playoffs this year, but some of his postseason cards have been crazy in the past. Maybe they're going to find a way to get us one of them because he's one of the most fun cards to use. He's just got a really good swing. I freaking loved using this Ronald Aconian Junior card early in the year too. Like sometimes I struggle with pitches on the inside that are too fast, and his swing is so fast. He's got my favorite swing in the major leagues. Like to me, he is the most repeatable swing I've ever seen. It's just like this perfect form. It's going to be consistent forever because it's short, it's compact to the ball. It's just perfect. I loved using his card. Maybe at some point this year we'll get like a 99 version of him or something like that. That would be freaking amazing because he's really, really fun to use. I hope at some point too we get a 99 J-Ram. I know this card got up there a little bit. He's got his home run derby card and stuff like that too, but he's one of the most fun cards to use in the game. His swing is just amazing. He can play all over the diamond. This is actually a really, really good pinch hitter. I know we talked about like Carlos Delgado earlier, but if you want a really good pinch hitter, it's this Jock Peterson card because he's got an amazing swing, 109, 118, and he only goes for like 21 to 29, so he's a lot cheaper, and he's got great hitting stats as well. I recommend this card off your bench. I hope at some point, too, we get like a 99 Trey Turner. This is one of the most fun cards to use in the game because he's got an amazing swing, can play all over the place, and he's super fast. So if we can get one with like, I don't know. If we got one with like 120, 120, 100, like he'd be ridiculous. Like he'd definitely be starting someplace in my lineup. I wonder if we'll get like some kind of a 99 Vlad at some point as well. This card was really fun to use early in the year. He's kind of gone down a little bit in his overall throughout time, but he was really cool to use. And as always, I feel like I can just go on about this game forever. I really like all the Royals Future Stars cards as well. Maybe we'll give like Vinny Pasquantino one at some point or something like that because he's been playing real well. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into 2 videos. I'm going to do hitters and then I am going to do pitchers tomorrow or something like that because this video I'm sure is going to be super long. I have been recording for almost 53 minutes, so I figure yeah, this is probably going to be long to edit, and then I'll just like give you this one today and then I'll do the pitchers tomorrow or something like that for a Thursday upload. So yeah, these are some of my favorite cards so far. I've used a lot of them. I haven't used all of them, but lately I've actually just been, I did a stream the other day and I just had a lot of fun playing the game. Like I know it's been a really rough year with the gameplay and everything like that, even with the content as well, but at the same time, like I just like playing the game. So yeah, let me know some of the answers to those questions down in the comment section. Which is a card that I missed that you want me to cover? I will get back to you with a comment. I'm going to read the comments and I'll respond. And then also another thing I was going to say is let me know which one, let me know some of your favorite cards, get a discussion going down there if you want, all that stuff. Thank you so much for watching. We'll do pictures tomorrow and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.